tonight is going to be one of those nights that you're going to want to take notes. You're going to want to get good ideas. You know, pretty much every good idea I can think of has come from someone else. So for example, the messenger event parties, I remember learning about those and thinking, that's a really good idea. What about that share a slim? Do you remember people will send just one stick of slim and then everyone tries it together at the same time on the same Zoom? All of these good ideas come from people with amazing creative minds. And so we all get to use the ideas. And that's the idea for tonight. So you know that you can either sign up 6 people and get an Apple Watch. Let's just call it a smartwatch because you can also do the Android version. Or you can sign up 3 people and help one of your level ones get to silver. So if you want an Apple Watch, and more than that, if you want to really set the example for your team that you can do the things that it takes, and then maybe they begin doing the things that it takes, I wanted you guys to be able to talk with people that are super close or have already earned the watch. So we're going to hear from my friend Katie, and we're going to hear from Brittany. We're going to hear from Shannon. And I think, Sarah, do you want to go ahead and start and do any shout outs that you have?
So I just want you guys to know that the work that we all do is important, like who we share with. A lot of times there's things that, don't get recognized, or your upline missed it or something like that. But I have to tell you guys, I am neurotic. Every Friday morning, I get on the website and I go to the recognition page, and we have what's called the corporate leaderboard. So that is something that is really, really exciting because you from the top of the company, like it's literally hundreds of thousands of brand ambassadors and VIPs that we have. So top VIP enrollment, top upgrades, and then top business building bonuses, which means you've had the most growth on your top 4 levels. So we have had some amazing weeks, and I just wanted to do a huge shout out because it's fun. Like I remember back in the day, way back when I used to be on the leaderboard, but it's even more fun when I have team members on the leaderboard. So I've seen a lot of people, but 2 weeks ago, Roxy Simmons hit corporate leaderboard. And then last week, one of our gals, Stacy Potter, hit leaderboard. And I know I see some other faces on here you guys have hit too, but it's just one of those things where you get some company recognition for all of that hard work. And I know we're showing up for power hours, we're doing the things, and it's so exciting when you get your name kind of in that email with your picture. Make sure you guys all have your pictures in your back office when they shout you out. So you guys all are doing an amazing job. And that says a lot when you're the, tippy top 10 or 20 out of hundreds of thousands of people. So just want to say congratulations.
Yeah, huge congrats. I love it when people get on there and they make a post about being on that leaderboard, and the friends that they have that think they've just been dabbling here or there, a little something, something. And they're like, oh, sounds like she's like very serious about this and is actually really good at it. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and let Katie Lusk. She has already earned the watch, and she has, is Brittany your level 1, Katie? Is she on your team? Okay.
Yes. She's my level. She is actually my level 3.
Okay. So she's got a gal on her team that's earned it, but I told her this. We want to know literally everything. Like, I don't care. I want to know details. Like, who'd you sign up? What'd they order? Did you post something? Did you message someone? Did they message you? I want to hear all the nitty gritty. And what you guys should be doing in this time is listening, taking notes, thinking about ways you can incorporate anything that they're doing into what you're already doing, and be willing to try something new. Be willing, because sometimes the way you've done it is not the way you need to keep doing it. Times change. So Katie, I'm going to go ahead and mute, and you can share all your information. I have an orange pen and I'm ready to write.
Orange pen, go Vols, right? Okay, first of all, I could puke. I hate doing things like this, but sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone. So I'm really right now focusing on, I am an avid poster. I post, if anybody here is friends with me, that I am very adamant about posting pretty much every day. And most of the time it's like this. I do a lot of reach out I even keep like a list, like I go back, like I've already gone back to March. I did that at the beginning of September. I went back to March of like all the people that I had reached out to that said, oh yeah, I'm interested, but didn't commit then. So I follow back, I do a lot of follow-ups, reaching out to people that like my posts. We have a board that has like just little tidbits that you can send to people like that have just liked, like not commented, just liked on your posts. I've done that a little bit. What else have I done? Heather Head is my Sapphire upline, and she and I had a conversation the other day on the phone, and she just wanted to know like what are your goals? What are you striving for? And I told her, I was striving to grow by 100 points this month. I fell back from my Ruby points back down to senior gold points, so that was a kind of a hit in the gut. And so she was just asking me, and she's like, well, what you're needing is what it sounds like you're needing is some business builders, which yes, that's what would help me the most right now. So changing the way you talk about the business, as in not saying, hey, I'm looking for business builders, and approaching it as, hey, could you use some extra cash this month? Instead of making it like a business. So sometimes that scares people away. And just offering, my mic is getting covered. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Just offering, cash, because that's going to appeal to most people. Also, I had all this like perfectly, like I had like this humongous speech, and now I'm just like nothing. Because I'm staring at all of your faces. And let's see, mostly just changing the way you talk about things and approaching it differently. I have one lady, we talked for, probably, she actually was one of the first people that reached out to me when I started Plexus 2 years ago. And I just signed her this month. She is the one that is another one of mine that is going silver. So she already had her people that she had in mind. So sometimes it's not about like, it's kind of frustrating. You get frustrated because you're waiting on these people. But had I signed her then, she may not have, made it to become a silver. So, God does things in the right timing. Just gotta trust. It's hard sometimes. But I have, that's really it. I mean, just following up with people, making sure that you're posting. When they were signing up, let's see, most of them are just signing up with welcome packs. I've done maybe 3 or 4 this month that have signed up with a reset welcome pack. Incentives always, I do SAM 2020, and then most of the time I do like a $10 off incentive code, just to cover membership. This month it's I just say free shipping. So that's pretty much it.
Jennifer, can I interrupt and jump in for a second? Okay, first of all, Katie, you did great. So I just want to acknowledge when you say I'm showing up and posting, I want everybody to hear what that looks like, because all I had to do was a 10-second scroll. One, I see Katie and I like Katie because she is putting her face out there. So she's not just sharing posts and she's making it personal. 2, she's finding cute ways to do a selfie with her products, but it's not join my team, buy my product. It's I'm busy, I'm headed to Costco, and this is my best friend that's coming with me. She's finding ways to pull you in to her life, because when you feel like you can know, like, and trust someone, when they make a recommendation, they're like, well, I'm busy and I have to go to Costco and I maybe need what she has. So I just want to acknowledge that you're showing up, but you're showing up. You went live this week, you're doing selfies, and she's a product of the product. She is not just saying, y'all need this orange box, like, go get it. She's saying, hey, this is my round 3, which means I'm committed to the process. I'm in this long term with a journey, and I want somebody to jump in and do it with me. So people probably are going to feel like, hey, I would love to join Katie because she's not just going to sign me up and leave me. She's actively walking this out, and I am going to join her with those steps. So I just want to say, you might just say, oh, I'm just posting, but I want you to know the way you are showing up just in the 10-second scroll, I want to acknowledge that you are sharing a personal story, product of the product, being vulnerable and giving people tidbits of your life, and pulling people in. And then the last thing is, I noticed you have people doing shout out posts saying, hey, I'd like to thank my friend Katie for introducing me to this reset or this slim or whatever. And they're tagging you. So they're making a post for their network and tagging you, and shout out posts are absolutely amazing. And I know Shannon and so many other people can vouch for that as well. So I just want to say good job.
Okay, so I'm going to totally out Katie and give you her full name here in the chat. So everybody go and just look at Katie's Facebook page. Her posts are great. Her consistency is great. The fact that there's diversity with the live. So all of that is a great tip. And Sarah, I appreciate you pointing that out, because when you assume that someone saw the one post you did in the last 10 days or 7 days, you've assumed wrong. We know that not everybody's going to see that post. So I would just encourage you guys. I do it myself. I say, gosh, I feel like, what if I annoy someone? Like, I already posted about this recently. If that means one more person gets helped, then we should be okay with that. It's just a mindset thing. Okay, Katie, perfect. I took all the notes that I needed to take. My favorite part was follow up with the people who liked your posts. That's not something everybody does, because usually we want it to be a comment, or we want them to come to us and say, hey, I'm ready. Here's my credit card information. And that would be great. That would be like the best thing ever, but usually it's not that way. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Shannon. Shannon, will you share everything about everything that's happened this month, please?
Sure. Everything about everything. So I have to echo what Katie said, just as far, I mean, just consistency. Like when you listen to Katie talk, she's being really consistent. And so she filled her funnel, right? And so every time we're posting and all that, you're always filling your funnel with people you may not even know who are watching. So the more consistent you are, the more trustworthy you are. And when those people happen to see that one post and they're ready to order, then boom, they're ready to order. So I have not earned the watch yet. I signed 4 in like 4 days, which was crazy. And it's just because my funnel is really full. Like, here's my September list. This is my funnel. Those 4 highlighted ones are the ones that ordered. These other ones I'm working on, and they're here. They're in front of me every day. And I'm like, okay, where are we at in conversation? Have they responded to me? Have they not? Are they watching my stories? I should look at that. Do I need to go comment on one of their posts, and like be like, hey, remember, I'm here. Remember that conversation we're having? So that's what I'm doing. So I always have my funnel full. And so like what Katie was saying, going back, and like the people who have liked my posts or comments, their name go right here, because now I know they're watching. Okay. Their name goes right here. They've been watching me, which means I'm now going to be really intentional with them to maybe comment on something, watch their stories, send them a message, something. I'm going to be super intentional with these people. Something else I'm going to do with these people is I'm going to go back, because with reset and everything else, it was like, boom, 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 boom. Let's get you ordered. It kind of slowed down a little bit. So some of these people might need a sample now. So now we just go back and we go, hey, have I ever offered you a sample? Would you like to try a sample of the pink drink? And then something I'm doing too is I've got anyone on my team that wants to do this with me. We're doing a pink drink chat challenge, and they're getting mailed some pink drink. We're all doing it together. They're actually all doing it while I'm in Hawaii this week. I have one of my other gals set up to do the whole thing. But here's what I did is I looked at all of my people and I put them down, and I put their name down, and I put 6 lines, and then I messaged them and I said, hey, whose names are going here this month? How are we getting you this watch? Whose name is going right there? And when I did all of this, and I have 2 pages full of people who have been working or actively working, or I'm like, hello, who doesn't want a free watch? Like, if you don't want a free watch, then I'm not sure if we can be friends, but I'm just kidding. I like all the free things. And I've been telling my team, this watch I earned 3 years ago, I had to sign 9, by the way. I had never signed 9 before. I was a gold. I had never signed 9. I had to sign 9 to get it. And by golly, I was going to get it. And so I've been telling them 6 is nothing. It's nothing. So that's what I did. I said, hey, and I just did their little name right there. Right. And then I said, hey, what names do you have? Some of them messaged me back instantly and said, here's the names that come to mind. Perfect. Some of them said, I don't know. That's fine. Those are blank. That's okay. We're just filling them in as we go. And then I realized, oh, if everyone did this, we could sign over 100 people on my team this month. And we've never done that before. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? And so what I've done then to set my team up for success is I've created a chat of everyone who said, yeah, I want to earn the watch. So we have a separate chat that says, let's earn a watch. And all of those people are in that one chat, and I'm giving them things to do. I'm giving them posts to do. We're doing this pink drink challenge together. And the only people in that chat are the people that messaged me back and said, yeah, I'm in. I didn't put anybody in there who didn't want to be in there. Right. And so that has been really good. I'm guiding them along. So I'm trying to actively help them earn a watch, and somewhere in there, I'm sure I'll develop a few silvers to also earn the watch. But that's kind of where I'm at. Let's see. Wait, I took notes. Funnel. Oh, and don't assume that your team knows. Don't assume they know there's a free watch on the line. I messaged quite a few of my business people and I was like, hey, did you see this? And they're like, no. I don't know how you did not see this, but okay. Like, how did you not see this? Like, again, we talk about our customers, like, or our prospects, they don't see our posts. Your team doesn't see your posts either. They don't see them in your groups all the time. They might have the chat you're in on silent and they check it once a week. I know that about one of my girls. I have to send her a text. Like, I actually have to send her a text, not just assume she sees my stuff. And so I know that about some of my people. And so I've messaged them, and then, away we go. So go back. Who needs a sample? You have so much time. Who do you need to send a sample to? Just get them to try the drink, right? Keep posting about, obviously, reset. That's a great thing right now. And then just your own story, and then other people's stories. I had a gal today, she's on here tonight, and she was like, I posted this testimony today about constipation of all things, and someone messaged me. I'm like, of course they did. because you posted something that not people are willing to talk about. It wasn't even her own story. It was somebody else's, but someone messaged her because she posted something that was relevant to someone that had been watching. So those are all the things about all the things, Jen.
Okay.
Does that work?
It really was all the things about all the things. So number one, I thought, really, this is the part that just made I just thought to myself, okay, this is so smart, because now that you've gotten the people that say they want to do the 6, you put them in this chat, and then you don't just leave them there with like encouragement and like emojis and like little like horns and like, woo. It's like, I'm going to give you instruction. I'm going to give you some activity to get into. And we have so many things to pull from, guys, that they can use. And especially if you have a testimonial page, if they're sharing testimonies like she just described, one of the best tips I ever got, Diamond Rosalind Payne, she said, if you ever feel like your well's running dry, make a post about a product that you never talk about. Like, literally the most obscure, random, pick something you've never ever shared about. So I thought, I'll do Nerve, because my husband had to use that. I won't say for what, but anyways, he had to use that. And I got new leads because I never talked about that. And it also showed people Plexus is so much more than what I had ever described it to be. So that was amazing. And then I also love that you have paper and pen. Like, you don't do it in the notes of your phone. You're my people. You're my people. So good.
Yeah. True story. I mean, I'll get distracted. If I'm on my phone, I will get distracted.
Mhm.
It's got to be just right here. And then when I'm working, everything has to go on do not disturb. Like, has to go on do not disturb, because if I get a message in, then I'm going to be a squirrel brain and I'm not going to get anything done. And then I'm going to be mad because I didn't get anything done.
I want to be you when I grow up, Shannon. I'm not even kidding. I don't want you to have to like go digging, but when you sent them the message asking who their 6 were, was it really just that direct? Hey, did you hear about the watch? Do you have 6 people in mind? Was it that direct?
What I did is I said, hey, I don't know if you saw the incentive about the watch this month. You need to sign 6 people. And I've written your name down with these 6 lines because I believe that this can happen for you. Do you want to work with me? to earn it.
I love it. It's perfect.
That's all I said. I said, I believe this can happen for you, because a lot of them don't. I mean, think about it. I don't know where you all are at in your journeys. And I know some of my girls are on here, but if you've never even signed 3 in a month, that can be really hard. And I've been using Roxy's story with people. Roxy's been around for 8 years and she signed 10 in a month last month, and she'd never done that before. So I've been telling them that story. And then I sent one girl your testimony, Roxy, and it was beautiful, because I was like, well, you need to listen to Roxy, because I know you think it can't happen because it hasn't ever happened for you before, but you have to take it on faith, right? And what's the word? I mean, if you don't earn it, okay, well, you built your funnel. It's no big deal. I mean, it's all right.
I mean, your paycheck.
But we're gonna earn it, because I wrote your name down. I wrote it down and I put you some lines, and I'm committed to this for you.
I love it. I think that's so great. Okay. So we've heard from Katie. I hope you guys are taking notes. We've heard from Shannon, and then Brittany is going to share with us. And Brittany, I think her goal is to earn 2 watches, but I think you're one away or you're really close. But Brittany's going to share. I know she has a newborn. So here we go. Brittany, will you tell us again all the things about all the things?
Okay, is my mic on now?
You're
Maybe.
on. Thank you for doing this. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us who you signed up. How'd you sign them up? What'd you post? What'd you message? What'd they say to you? What were you wearing? Tell us everything.
Most of the time it's yoga pants, because 3 kids under the age of 4, yeah, that's fun. No, so I started off, I was one of those people that Katie talked to for well over a year, and it was just not the right timing for me. And then when it was. And at first I wasn't even remotely wanting to become an ambassador and share product. I just wanted to be a consumer and help them reach their goals. I did shout outs, and it took me maybe 2 weeks of being on the product and realizing how much of a difference it made in my life. And one of the things, whenever I was even posting before becoming an ambassador, was one thing about me is I'm always bluntly honest, and I'm not gonna sell you, a product that I don't believe in. Like, that's not my goal. So I guess having that rapport with people already, that I'm going to be upfront with you, then they're more apt to listen and pay attention to things that you do say. So fast forward, I just started sharing my story. I just had a baby back at the beginning of July, and I needed to get some of that weight off plus more. And I just was tired of feeling crummy and tired. Having 3 kids, I was exhausted and needed the energy. I had heard Katie talk about active and how much energy and no crashing. So I wanted that. And that's what I share with people. One thing that I really strive for is MLMs get really bad credit for being annoying, because you have people that you haven't talked to since you were in high school that pop up and they're like, hey, be my friend, take my product, want to be my team member? And nobody wants to listen to you. So I took all the things that annoyed me, seeing that from other people, and I make sure to turn that around. I know one thing that Katie talked about was her verbiage. You don't want to say, hey, let's build a business. Like, that scares people. They're like, I don't have time for that. I don't want to do that. So taking those things that I saw in a negative light and turning that around. How can I turn that into something that people do want to hear? I do typically post, if not every day, every other day, but I try to break up my posts too with my day-to-day life. I don't just say, here's my drink that I'm drinking today. It's like, oh, busy day. We got laundry to do. We got take the kids to pre-K. We have church. We have all the things. What do I need today? Things like that. Some of the things that Katie had already talked about, those are huge things. And honestly, like you mentioned, Jennifer was like going back and pointing out something that most people wouldn't even think of. Part of my story is weight loss. Well, not everybody needs weight loss. So, and it's not just about that. So I shared the other day about how that's a misconception for Plexus, that it is just a weight loss program. And I got so many leads from that and signed 2 or 3 different people just because they're like, gut health, what is it? Tell me all the things. And I'm like, okay, let's get you settled. I will say one thing that's helped me clinch people. I've had a lot of people on the fence, especially I've had some older-ish ladies that are not technology savvy, is especially because if you're an iPhone user, making a recorded video of what steps to do. So I've had several people say, hey, I really don't know how to set up this combo. You think I should do this, but I really don't know how to go through all these steps. So I make a video, send it to them. Hey, you should do this. And they're like, oh, well, that's easy enough. And if I get stuck, hey, do you mind if I log into your stuff to help you? Can I help you in any way? Following up is huge. And sorry, I feel like I'm talking a million miles an hour. I'm not really good at this. I don't talk to humans. I don't talk to adults, little kids. So when I do get to talk to adults, I get really excited.
I think you talk really well, actually. I'm stuck on this thing. You were posting because you wanted to support the friend you ordered from before, it wasn't for you, you were posting for them. How did we get there? What did somebody say to you to make you do that?
Nothing. I just believed in the product, and I knew, and like I said, MLMs get such a bad rap, but you know what? If I'm able to help, 4 or 5 people in my upline, like I know all of them. I know their story. I know their families. I go to church with some of them. Like, why would I not help them?
I love that.
So, I was posting and I did a Q&A on Instagram, and I was like, hey, what do you want to know? And this was before I was even an ambassador. What kind of questions? If I can't help you, I know somebody who can answer those questions for you.
I love that. Okay. So no one gave you a shout out post is what you're saying.
No.
Okay. So that's the first thing I was going to ask. And the second one is, I love that a lot of what you're doing is coming from a place of product love. Like you actually love the products. And so here's a tip for everybody here. Let's say you're in a place where maybe you need to switch up your routine, or maybe there's a part of you that thinks, I feel like I was feeling better, 2 months ago, and I'm not feeling that right now. That just means you need to be really intentional with figuring out what's going to serve you best. I know my friend Lisa, she kind of got in a rut, and all it took was her replacing one meal with the lean. That's it. And it just up-leveled her product experience. And so if you feel like you don't have that excitement about the products, you know what to do. Switch up your routine. Think back to what it was before you ever used Plexus. Read testimonies. Make sure that you're talking to people that have had amazing results and get their belief. You have the ability to grow this. And the more your belief grows, the more your posts are going to get attraction because people feel it. And exactly what Brittany was sharing. And then the last thing that made me think of Celeste Gwynn was anyone at convention in Dallas, and she said, I've been building my network for 40 years or however old she was at the time. Don't tell her I said 40. It could have been 30, 20, however old she was at the time that it happened. When Brittany just said that she has a rapport with people, they know that she can be trusted. Your rapport is developed by you being in relationship. So that is something that's just so crucial. And so what does relationship look like? Being in conversation with them, commenting on their post. Yeah, you could pick up the phone. You could even say, hey, you want to meet for lunch sometime? These are all ways that you're actually breathing life and sowing into your relationships. Those were so good. If anybody has any questions, by the way, about anything, Brittany, I did have to ask you this. Were they all reset welcome packs, or what did people order?
So most of the things that I have done lately have been a combo that everybody wants to know what I'm doing. So what I did is I created my own combo, and I am doing Slim Hunger Control, MetaBurn, and Active. And so people that are interested in the weight loss and what I'm doing, I'm like, hey, this is working for me. And like for my mom example, she needed some of those things, but she really didn't need the meta burn. She needed more of ease for joint pain and things like that. So we just switched it up based off of what people are needing. I always have everybody do the quiz and get back to me. I'm like, hey, I think I know what you might be looking for, but go ahead and take this and let's talk about it.
I really like that as well, because that quiz, when you skip it and then it asks you, do you really want to skip it? That actually is not achieving what you have already mentioned you did. When she made the video to help people get their products ordered, what she's doing is reducing friction. It's the word that we hear a lot in Plexus, and that's a goal that we're always going to be moving towards. So this is what I'm going to say for a takeaway. And then Sarah, if you want to share anything before we start wrapping up, what I would suggest each one of you do, number one, is to make sure that you've done what Shannon said that she did with her level ones. You go and tell them that you believe that they can accomplish that, and then give them the tools. If you think, I don't exactly know what the tools are, no problem. We've got a group starting on Monday, the 19th, that is basically an IPA challenge that's going to give them the tools that they need to begin this process of reaching out to friends. I like that Katie said, change some of the verbiage. Instead of making it seem like they're going to need a briefcase and a desk and like an LLC, why don't we just say, can you use some extra cash this month? So really being aware of the language that you're using and being consistent in your posting. If you're struggling with that, you can buy posting calendars, and they tell you every day what you should be sharing, including like National Donut Day. And you can have your slim and you can have the donut, and you can be like, I don't need this anymore because I have my pink drink or whatever. You guys, there's no excuse for not posting every day. If you're not doing it and you're like, oh, I should do it, but I don't know how, there's a tool. If you're not doing it and you don't care, then that's fine too. Sarah, do you have anything that you wanted to share really quick?
One, you're amazing, Jennifer Leith. Putting these calls together, like, I just get really, really excited. So this is what came to me just now when she told me she was going to ask me to say something. This is one of my favorite sayings: plan, do, review, and adjust. So we made a plan. We want to earn this watch. Maybe what you've been doing hasn't been working up until this point. And you're on this call tonight and you're like, okay, I'm reviewing. What have I been doing so far? Maybe it's not getting me the results that I'm looking for. In reviewing now, you've just heard 22 different things that people are doing that are working for them. Where do I need to adjust? Because I think that's one of the hard things. I know for me, a lot of times I get frustrated and I keep telling myself over and over and over, I'm stuck. Nothing's working. And I just keep reminding my brain that I feel like a failure and that nothing's working. But what we really need to do is, when we review and say, okay, what I'm doing isn't working, make the adjustments, grab a buddy, do a sample challenge, start posting consistently, whatever it is, whatever you've heard. I want you to grab one or two things that you're not doing, make that adjustment, make a new plan, because tonight we get to start over because we've got plenty of the month left. And then we're going to plan, do, and review and say, is this working? And if it is, you keep on going. If it's not, you make that adjustment and you add something or you change something. And so I love these ideas. And I will just tell you, when in doubt, if you've got 27 people in your funnel and none of them are making a decision about anything, throw away the, I need a watch and I want this as a customer, and take them to lunch, give them a sample, love on them, serve them, meet them where they are. Remember, I think one of the most important things that I learned more recently that has really hit home for me is it's about their timeline and what they need, and me meeting them where they are. If they say no, thank you, it's okay, because I'm just going to find somebody else who says yes, please, right now. But the no thank yous are just no thank yous until their timing is right. So while we are talking, I just moved all these names, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people who said no thank you end of month last month, because the timing wasn't right. And I'm going to keep loving on them and serving them and adjust what I'm doing and do a sample challenge and set up some messenger events and write down some names with 6 lines, grab something here. But I want you to think about, what is your plan? What are you doing right now? tonight when we get off this, take 5 minutes and review and say, is it working? If it is, keep going. If it's not, make an adjustment and grab something from what you've heard. And let's rock and roll. Let's all go for it. And how ironic that I just bought an Apple 7 series because the one that I earned from Plexus finally just died. But I will tell you guys, I'm obsessed with closing my 3 rings. And I've been rocking and rolling almost 2 years like straight of closing all three rings.
I don't
But
even
I'm still
know what that
the one.
means. I literally
have-
don't know what that means.
Your red ring is your move goal and your Apple Watch, so you can set a calorie burn. And then you have a workout ring, your green ring, for 30 minutes of activity. And then you have a stand goal, and you can't sit on your butt for more than a certain amount of time, or your watch will tell you to stand up and get moving.
Okay. So that doesn't intrigue me at all. I'd rather sit. Is there a sit goal? Is there a sit goal? I'm just kidding, guys. So to wrap this up, what's going to happen, as it always does, in the last 2 or 3 days of the month, you're going to begin to see this avalanche of people trying to qualify and finish that out. Inevitably, somebody's going to say, I wish I would have started earlier in the month, because if I had known my team would have this type of momentum, I would have been able to hit whatever rank. And it is just painful when you end the month at 470 and just Ruby's right there, and you waited too long. So if your team, they're going to come out and surprise you because people are going to want to earn this. So I would just say to you, use this time wisely. I put the link to the CEO habits in the chat, and that will be used so that you have activity. If you don't want to put people into it, grab some of the challenges from each day and send them in the chat. Just what Shannon was sharing, what she does for her people. This was really good for me, and it lit a fire under me, and I'm going to go and take all my pictures and rewrite the posts that Katie did for myself because they were amazing. And Brittany, incredible. Shannon, you're seriously the next Plexus trainer. Not even kidding. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you being on, and I'll post this recording on YouTube under my account. Good night, everybody.